paid by Sunway Systems to steal data from Digicorp Technologies?
No.
Have you ever worked in any capacity at Sunway Systems?
No.
And one of the things I liked about Brian's script is that, you know, it taps into a kind of surreal, absurd terrain in that we never know what these big corporations want, really. And in essence, I think Brian is making a comment on the Cold War and the absurd levels that the United States and the USSR went to steal things from each other, and just the absurd nature of the spy game. And also, you know, as a very subjective, Kafka-esque story about a man searching for himself and being controlled by forces he can't comprehend. Like, all of those elements are pregnant in the film, but what I love about it is that he's justified them. He's given them a logical conclusion. And I think I find that satisfying because I know how easy it is not to have a logical conclusion. I mean, to me, that's a cop-out, and in many, not always, but in fact, that was one of the things that was exciting for me about making Cube was it has sort of some abstract elements to it, you know, that fall into that terrain. But at the end of the day, its abstraction and surrealism is totally based in a logical universe, and that's actually a very difficult thing to do, to serve both those masters. And I thought that Brian did that, and that's really one of the reasons why I wanted to do it.
You will have to deceive other people about what you do for a living, even your own wife.
Yes.
You don't mind lying to your wife?
No, I don't mind.
And the trial was, of course, one of my reference points. One of my big, I'd say the trial, and there's a John Frankenheimer film called Seconds, were probably the two touchstones for me in terms of visually, you know, or at least film references, because there were other influences for, you know, what this movie would look like. When I think it's because the trial is very expressionistic and in the way that it presents its world, and I think that's what Kafka's writing is, because it was always as a metaphor, an exaggerated metaphor for an inner state of being, and that's really what I tried to do with this movie. It's a very subjectively told film, and I tried to design the world in such a way that it would evolve and kind of reflect who Morgan was and how Morgan changed in the course of the film.
Jack Thursby.
As far as Digicorp's concerned, Morgan Sullivan doesn't exist.
What's his personality? I'll have a ginger ale.
He's whoever you want him to be.
Actually, I'll have a scotch.
The concept or the theme of trying to define yourself and, you know, identify yourself is an interesting one, because at the end of the day, I don't think anybody can do that. I mean, you can look in the mirror and say, and try to explain who you are, but at the end of the day, I don't think you will ever know. I think, you know, it's one of those things that the harder you work at you know, grasping your true essence, the more it slips between your fingers. And that's why at the end of the movie, I sort of wanted to leave Sebastian Rooks as an enigma. I didn't really want to say this is who he is. It's like that's sort of the visual metaphor at the end of the film is when he goes into silhouette. What I'm trying to say is he's still a mystery. We'll never really know who that guy we've been following for the whole film really is. Even though we have a name and we have an explanation, you know, he'll always remain an enigma. And I did that because I think that's true of everyone. I think the person you know the least in your life is actually yourself. This is going to stay completely in the realm of Kafka, but it kind of morphs into Ian Fleming, and I think for some people they just can't, you know, make that transition, and then for other people it's really fun because it's unexpected.
What is your name?
Morgan Sullivan.
Where were you born?
Madison, Wisconsin.
Are you a spy?
No.
I think all the great character actors in the world are people who just kind of you don't recognize from one movie to another. And I cast Jeremy in this film because I needed an actor who would transform so dramatically that you wouldn't recognize him from the beginning of the film and from the end of the film. You know, so I think a lot of people know who Jeremy Northam is. I don't think a lot of people know what he looks like.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, very much.
I think it went well.